Alright guys, we finally have another one. Now if you've seen any of my previous videos that I've done on the channel, you know that I have an affinity for older technology. But what happens when you find a cell phone that maintains a classic style, but it's released in the modern day? That's what I'm here to review for you today, guys. So this phone is actually called the ZTE Z222, and if you couldn't tell just by that nice little globe logo that's just sitting right over there, this is yet another review of the AT&T Archive series. So what makes this one stand out a little bit more over its contemporaries? Well, not a whole lot if I'm honest with you, but that's what I'm going to be here to explore with you guys today. I'm going to be going through some of the features that this phone has, or lack thereof, and see if it's still viable to own a cell phone in 2024 that has that really nice flip design. We're going to find out right now. Alright, like all of our previous phones, we're going to give this one a fire up. Now, I do apologize for the sound that's going to be in the background, as we do have, landscapers that are running rampant in our neighborhood right now, so hopefully it doesn't pick up on the audio front, but if it does, then do apologize. So there's our new boot up screen there. Quite a familiar one if you guys say so. Alright, and here's what we have on the screen here. So, what was unique about this particular device? First off, let's take a look at that putrid screen that for some godforsaken reason is just an e-ink almost. I don't even know what kind of classification I can give this, but you guys can see right off the riff, this is a bad screen. It's not even wanting to pick up on camera. That's just how terrible this one is. But you can see here, menu design, pretty basic, Actually, it came into basically the Samsung Gravity TXT, which I did review recently, and I do want you guys to go ahead and check out that video just because, man, I put a lot of time and effort into that one, and yeah, it shows. So what do you have as far as just your button layout is concerned? Yeah, let's just mute that switch right there. Okay, so what do you have as far as your feature set? So you got your normal flip phone button layout that you're used to seeing. So you have your your little shoulder buttons right here. Got your little D-pad, your column in buttons. What does this do? Okay. So what it seems is basically it's a quick menu function, which I don't think I've seen that on any flip phones that I've reviewed lately, so very fascinating. We have a quick camera button, always nice, always nice. The Samsung Gravity TXT didn't even have that, so it's a pretty good step up in that department. And then we have, I think, that's a calendar button. Why exactly? That's interesting. Either way, so the button's pretty interesting. I mean, you don't necessarily get a calendar and a multitasking button on a flip phone, so I think that's a pretty good step up compared to even reviewing that LG VX8830, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think that it was a really good phone, especially with those side-firing speakers, which you could also watch on this channel if you click the card that's on the right-hand corner. But let's go check out the menu. What does the menu look like? Okay, so this actually... this looks like this came straight out of 2012 right here. This is actually really garbage. So you got a recent calls button right here. You got your messaging button. You got your address book. You got your mobile web. And let me just say, right off the riff, out of all the sound effects that play on cell phones, this is by far the worst sounding one I've heard. Point blank, not my favorite. You got your emails, you got your My Stuff, which is probably where all the multimedia stuff is. The data balance, your account balance, and your settings. So overall, I mean, for the most part, it seems like it's got a good feature set. My issue is it just looks very, very dated, and I don't know how well that's gonna hold up in 2024, especially when the peak of like UI experiences is just like raised above such a high level for people that it's just almost impossible to maintain. But let's just we're gonna go over into our messaging because we love testing out the keyboards or the keypad in this case, testing those out. So let's create a new message. We'll come up with like a fake number. You're picking that up, guys, right? These things have piano sound effects? Man, just when I thought I was gonna start to hate this phone, they just pull me back around for some odd reason. Alright, so we got a fake number composed here. Let's see how a message turns out. Do they have predictive text? Honestly, not bad typing. Now to be fair, this unfortunately does not have any predictive text functionality, so you're not gonna be getting like a whole lot of just like autocorrects or getting any different sorts of things that can aid you in like typing out a message. Because I mean, listen, not everybody knows how to use a T9 keypad, especially in today's age when we just got a touch screen that you can literally just type out like any little pointed message that you want. But overall, not too bad. So, as is tradition on this channel, we are going to go ahead and see how that fancy camera is, which just for some reason just doesn't show any information about it whatsoever. And you mean, you guys know, even when I showed you guys that LG phone that I had for you guys a while back, even that still told you that it was a VGA camera. How am I supposed to know the megapixel count on this thing without even like saying anything? Who am I kidding? I just completely forgot. We have a camera button here. Now, you're not going to be necessarily getting the best lighting on the screen here, but we could certainly try and take this little picture. That is an egregious sound that I wish my enemies did not have to hear. And yeah, that is pretty much VGA grade. Why you do this to me, man? I do not understand. Like, shouldn't like flip phones honestly be getting like at least 2 megapixels max? Like, why does it always have to be a VGA camera system? I never understood that. Just point blank, never understood the appeal of that sort of thing. So let's dive into the actual physical features of this phone and see if it's, you know, still holds up in today's day. Alright, so point blank, this is not a bad feeling phone, but as far as the looks department goes, it's okay to say the least. The one credit that I will give is the fact that they do make all the plastics textured. Even this front panel right here, you could just hear it as I'm like scratching my finger over it. This is also textured, which I do find to be a really nice feature. This also is a textured back as well. So the good news is for people who do own this rather basic and ho-hum flip phone, it actually is not a bad feeling one in the hand. So props to you, ZTE. You actually made it like feel really nice to hold. Now as far as just in general, like the physical button layouts and everything like that, so you do have a pretty, you know, nondescript volume rocker right here. This is your micro USB port. If I can get to it, there we go. So this is the micro USB port that's just used for charging and everything else, which I do like. Though in 2024, isn't it time to just put like a USB-C charging cable on it? I mean, that's just me. Now to get off the back cover, we just gotta like pull right over here. And as you can see, yes, this is a ZTE device, so therefore ZTE battery is enabled. And I guess this was, ooh, fancy. Got a singular card right there, not bad, not bad. But the other thing that I wanted to point out too, where's the micro SD card? Does it not have it? What kind of phone doesn't have a micro SD card slot? That, oh my goodness. This makes me angry. This actually makes me angry. Because here I was hoping potentially would have been able to show you guys like how like maybe the music player looked and stuff, but no, I can't even like show that for you guys. Dang. Well, this may just very well be one of the quickest reviews that I've ever had to give on this channel. Alrighty guys, final thoughts on this ZT222 or Z222. It's really nothing to write home about. If you do go on AT&T's website, I believe you could still actually be able to purchase this device. Granted, it's under their prepaid cell phone service. And considering that this phone was originally released in June 2013, it really is starting to show its age right now. For one, you know, your connection, don't get me wrong, the micro USB is kind of a standard for a lot of like feature phones that I've reviewed on this channel, but the fact that it's still rocking this in 2024 when it's still up for sale on their website, it's a little bit not a good taste in the mouth, honestly. And for one, camera performance, obviously, definitely not its strong suit. This was probably I'd actually say this was even worse than the Samsung Gravity TXT, which is really saying something. Just like looks-wise, I mean, they did try and like add something interesting with like the multitasking, like that dedicated camera key, and apparently a calendar key of all things. But it just doesn't do enough to save this device from becoming just the middle of the road, just like ho-hum prepaid cell phone that you could be able to get for probably a relatively cheap price. Do not quote me on that. I might as well throw that information up on screen if I do find out anything else about it. But for now, it's your boy Retro Landline. I do apologize for the lack of consistency in the uploading department. I have been going through quite a bit of things lately, just as far as, you know, getting some career stuff lined up and job certifications, all those sorts of stuff. So if the videos do come out very slowly, I do apologize for that front. But for now, be sure to leave a like on this video. Do subscribe to the channel, and do follow me on BlueSky. I will be throwing some more updates as well as just any additional tech-related stuff that you want to hear about. And for now, it's your boy Retro Landline, calling you back from the past, and peace out.